goes.
Me too. My husband was like, have fun, enjoy. I was like, I'm sure it's Joshua. Regardless, it's gonna be chaos and fun, but
Yes, chaos.
productive.
And then productive chaos. Ooh, that's good.
Case. I like that.
Ooh, that might be the title for productive chaos.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. Good morning, YouTube world. My name is Joshua Coatson, your overnight success story, and this is the Baby J Show. So today with me, and you can see her on the screen right now, as well as, and here, let me just say this real quick. TikTok, thank you for being with us. Thank you. We are live on TikTok right now, and who we have with us is not only somebody who has just started a nonprofit, but she is also family. And I do not get to spend enough time with her. So we had to figure out a way for me to spend some time with her.
So podcast it is.
Yeah, so podcast it is. I'm going to put the camera on you. I would like for you to say who you are and what you do, and then we're going to get into it.
Okay. My name is Alicea de la Cruz. That's my government name, but I'm more comfortable with Ali. I am a retired registered nurse. Still have my license. Was in the Army for about 4 years and served in Iraq in 2003. So I have a passion for trying to help people with PTSD because I lived it. I've still, get triggered and going on my healing journey because I feel like everybody needs that light. Right now with the chaos that's going on, chaos seems to be circling. It seems to be the theme. Only it's not productive chaos that's going on in the world right now.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's productive. But
No.
But yeah, we started a nonprofit, Healing Buddy, my husband and I. I was in a personal development retreat and I was trying to take a nap. I was pregnant at the time, trying to take a nap. And it kind of just hit me like, oh my gosh, if I would have had all this education, about PTSD and what happens in your body, because you can't just tell somebody like, think positively or like when they're going crazy, we get into that. But so I was like, we need a retreat specifically, or we need classes that hit on the education part of, trauma and PTSD and what happens to your brain essentially when you get into this elevated state. And prolonged trauma and what can happen if you don't treat it. And so I tried different modalities. There was a lot of resistance because it sucks to look in the mirror. I always say that, it sucks to look in the mirror. And I think the turning point for me was my oldest daughter, Anaí. She started to display the anxiety and mirror me when I was, elevated and I would get anxious. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I teaching my daughter? So I started, really taking therapy seriously and being like, I am the problem. It's me. So it's been many, many years of, trial and error and trying to figure out what works best for me. A lot of evidence-based research that my husband and I are doing to see what works best as a whole, as a collective. But I'm excited. Yeah, we are hitting on the education part of it. And we're also like, if people aren't ready to go on that healing journey, they can just get that education piece of it. Like, hey, this is what's going on. This is what PTSD is. Even if you don't deal with it, you always have a family member or, somebody that has experienced a traumatic event in their life. And maybe they're dealing with, the ramifications years down the road. And, they don't want to go to that healing aspect of it and trying to heal from that, because it's possible. It's possible to heal and it's possible to get better and to have that sense of calm and not all this, chaos that's going on. The chaos.
I'm glad that we figured that out in the beginning.
Yeah.
What the title is going to be. So I know you. And I'm very grateful to know you. You're a beautiful person, and but you weren't always.
I wasn't always.
And so in this part or in this segment of this, I want to know, because there's honestly shit that I don't know about you and about our family. Yeah. You don't even have to say your family, our family. That's so weird. Yeah. But it's the truth. It's so. I would like for you to go through your story, because I believe that it ties back to this whole trauma, PTSD, everything that you're doing with Healing Buddy. So take me back as far as you want to. You don't have to say some shit that you don't want to say, but I'm sure that you can allude to some stuff. But I do want to understand, and this is like me wanting to know about my family as well. Okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
I get it. So it all started back in, I joined the Army right out of high school. How I joined the Army is a funny story, all in its own. But I
17,
joined
18?
17, yeah. And then I turned 18, graduated. 2 weeks later, I was shipped off to boot camp over there in South Carolina. So, I remember signing up and thinking, I want to get out of here. Like, my parents are stupid. They don't know anything. Like, I'm going to go. The recruiter told me
I was going to ask if that was the mentality.
I think that was the mentality. And also because I didn't have to take my ACT and SAT, and the recruiter was like, you don't have to take these tests. You can get college paid for. He was a damn good recruiter because he got my ass he got my ass to join, and my parents too. I was underage at the time when I signed, so they had to talk to them as well. But yeah, I went and joined as a medic, and they gave me the training. It's kind of like a paramedic, a little bit more. There's no really civilian like carryover, but my first duty station was Korea. So 18 years old, going across the pond for the first time, Korea. And that was okay. It was, and I say okay because looking back at it, I'm like, oh, there's some really fucked up shit that happened in the sense of there was probably about 100 men to one woman that served. So there was a lot of attention.
I'm sure it's different now, but
I'm not sure if it's different, and I was in 2nd ID, so that was the furthest north that women could go. It was about maybe 10 miles from the DMZ where North Korea is.
What's DMZ mean?
The demilitarized zone. So it's where North Korea meets South Korea. And there's that big like DMZ you can't cross.
Okay.
No cross. So yeah, I was there for a year, and like I said, it was good times, but there was a lot of drinking, a lot of I don't know. I don't want to say unsafe places because I was very lucky to be with men that took care of me, like as brothers. Like I didn't get taken advantage of, and stuff like that. But I say it was, fucked up stuff because we saw a ton of soldiers that were away from people, that didn't really get the attention that they needed mentally when they were going downhill. Tons of drinking, tons of getting in trouble, that sort of stuff. And I think that's a theme in the military. They say that they have resources. They say that, it's available, come and get it. But I think living that, it's hard. My experience, it's not true.
So here's my question to you. Well, my first question, we'll have thousands, but so you went over there and you started to see, I'm sure that like it wasn't like the thing that, your first focus was not the trauma that people were going through and stuff like that. So like I'm sure like you were like, there were other things that were more prevalent that were on your mind, but you, in the back of your head, you were watching people deal with the trauma in that, and so that started this process for you. So I guess in there, like. And I don't know this about like the military or anything. What was your branch?
Army.
The Army. So, so I'm assuming they said that there was something that they could help with the trauma and all these things. But like, did you have to seek them out? Did they not give them to you?
Yeah, it's kind of I guess a stigma or taboo to be like, to seek any kind of attention out, whether it be like you broke your arm or like,
because you're tough.
Because you have to be tough and you have to maintain this like stoic, like I'm a soldier, I'm going to keep like pop some ibuprofen and walk it off type thing is literally what.
And your whole leg's broken.
Yeah, it's just like dangling off. It's like, wrap that shit up. Let's go. So I think that's the part where you see something that's kind of wrong, or that's like, it makes, your alarm system kind of go off, and it's like, oh, that's not right. But you know what? I'm not going to say anything. I'm a minority here. Literally, like, being a woman and then being Hispanic.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a minority here. I don't want to ruffle any feathers. I'm a low woman on the totem pole with, rank wise. And so, you don't really speak up. You don't, just, power through it, or just, shut up and carry on and do your thing. Same thing that happened, when a year in Korea, flew to Georgia, which is my next duty station.
Okay.
My stuff hadn't even made it from Korea to Georgia, and we got orders to go to Kuwait. So I was,
your clothes and stuff?
all the stuff, my personal belongings hadn't even made it to Georgia. And we were like, that unit that the new unit I got assigned to was like, hey, we're going to Kuwait. There's possible, there's threats out there, war, et cetera, talks. So yeah, we went over to Kuwait. We were there in March 2003. And then at the end of March is when war was declared on Iraq. So we went into Iraq. I was lucky enough to stay behind and didn't go with that first wave, that went in there. But I was part of a medical company. So we were in charge of air and ground. My specific company did ground. We did ambulance. So anybody that, got hurt, or, they would go pick them up and pick up the wounded soldiers, or even wounded Iraqi, and bring them back. We would work on them. And we were attached to a unit that had air medevacs that would fly out, the Black Hawks that you see, the helicopters. So I think, again...
Damn, you've seen some shit.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's... I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. It's been a while since I've actually, talked about it. But yeah, I was a medic, and literally like a combat medic. Like, that was my title going in, but it was just, I hadn't seen any combat yet, and I didn't think I was going to see any combat, according to that fucking recruiter. But anyways, but yeah, I was in Tikrit, which is where they caught Saddam Hussein. So it's kind of like, oh, we kind of passed that place a couple of times, but
that's crazy.
So yeah, but they were bringing wounded to us, and you don't think about it while you're in the midst of it, how traumatic it is, until you're like talking to somebody and their whole face changes. Like, your face is like, holy shit. And I haven't even gotten into, people being brought in on the Humvee. It's 150 degrees outside, and they literally peel them off these cars, trying to get them,
Well, I'm assuming you're about to say something about.
So yeah, they literally they're peeling soldiers off the trucks to try and just get them out of the danger zones, because there's tons of.
Now, when
IED
you say that,
explosions.
are they passed away already, or are they hurt and injured, or like
hurt and injured?
Okay, and so they're trying
passed out, thankfully.
And so they're trying to take them off to give to you, essentially, to fix them.
So so our units got split up. So we had ground units that would go out. So I would do that very rarely, but we also had a MASH unit. So kind of like you saw on the TV, which is like a mobile hospital. Mm-hmm. So they would bring, injured people to us, injured soldiers. And so, yeah, I mean, we would get bombed every single day. It got to the point where it was like background music. Like, you would hear the bombs, feel the tents shaking. And thankfully it didn't get in our base enough to cause actual injury. There were a few people that got hit on like convoys and stuff. And one particular convoy that I was on, in an ambulance with a big ass red cross, we were behind a fuel tanker. Like, you can imagine an 18-wheeler fuel tanker. Yeah. And I see this huge explosion, and I remember thinking, that's it. I'm going to die, because this is a bomb that just went off there's a fucking 18-wheeler full of fuel in front of me. And so what snapped me out of it is my driver put it in neutral. And I, thank God, my dad, love him, and I know about cars and the engine and what you're supposed to hear, but it snapped me out of it. And I'm like, what are you doing? Put it in drive. We need to get through this. And then like seconds later, you hear the big boom. And so thank God they had faulty IEDs explosions, and it took the tire out from the 18-wheeler in front of me. Mm-hmm. And so it didn't hit the fuel tanker. So the fuel tanker kind of just spun around, and we were able to just drive through.
Wow.
This huge explosion. But I remember, like, you see lightning. I mean, this huge, you can imagine.
I've never lived through that, but
right.
I can. But I mean, you're painting a really good picture, and that's really fucking scary. So
it is. It was really scary, and I'm able to talk about it now, which is, I mean, I guess a good thing. But I mean, I remember seeing, I think probably Facebook at the time was popular, but I remember seeing a video online of an IED explosion, and I was like, holy shit, that's what I went through. Like, it really messed me up for a very long time, because I was just, you don't know the magnitude of what you actually went through. And, trauma does that to you anyways. It kind of shuts your memory down, so you don't remember.
Yeah. It suppresses.
It does. It just suppresses.
And I'm hoping
your
we're going to talk about that later, because I don't know.
That's fine. That's what we're here for. So, so certain things like that, and it was an everyday occurrence going through with the bombs. And like I said, thankfully, that was the only one that I had gone through and experienced. But, bringing soldiers in that had gone through something like that and weren't as lucky, they had gotten hit with rockets or, body parts missing. And so having to see that and just going through it and being like, this is what my job is. And
how old were you?
18. 18 turning 19. No, 19.
Still 19.
19, yeah. So, it just, that's an everyday thing, dealing with that, and kind of that dark humor that you had, military people, I don't know, we have dark humor, and sailors, they say sailor's mouth, but yeah, we have potty mouths. And my husband's really helped with that, 'cause he doesn't like me to cuss. Love you.
I don't like, look, I'm trying to get better, but I'm
trying to, 'cause it's not professional, whatever.
Yeah, but at the same, look, we'll talk about that.
Honest, or it's supposed to be honest, right?
It's relatable.
Right?
It's relatable.
I think so too.
Yes. Sorry, and so Moshe, I'm not trying to tell her. I'm not trying to tell you that.
He's encouraging.
Yeah. That part. I am, but I'm not. But I am, but I'm not. Keep going.
Yeah. So that was an everyday occurrence. A year we spent there, and we didn't have anything. Put my chin on it. We didn't have anything as far as like toilets. Like, we literally were burning our shit every day. So
what?
There was a big pile, and thank God for the people that got in trouble, because they were literally the shit stirrers and burners we would shit into a pile, and it was a community
shit pile.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then they would use the jet fuel and like crazy stuff to burn it, and they wonder why people are sick now. But yeah,
wow.
Yeah, so
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so when we were first there, Army didn't get that. Air Force is a different thing. Those who are in the service know that Air Force is like, they get like the top notch.
Oh, they're the penthouse. Like, okay.
Yeah, they get first class. They're flying first class, and like, we're in cargo.
Frontier. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cargo of Frontier.
Frontier. There you go. Yeah.
I know. I didn't know that. I can assume that there are like hierarchies.
Yeah.
But I had no idea.
Yeah. So the Air Force gets all the stuff, and so we give Air Force a hard time. We didn't have those accommodations. I literally, when we got porta potties for the first time, I was like, oh, thank God, and I gave it a hug. Like, that's how bad it was. I was like, oh, Johnny, I love you. So but yeah, so it's stuff like that you don't really realize, and then looking back, it was like, oh, that was pretty traumatic. And like I said, I did a speech, I think, for the city of Avondale one time, and kind of just talking about my stuff, and like the whole crowd was silent. And I was like, what did I do? what did I say to them? Like, what did I say something wrong? Like, cause I don't know, I probably blacked out.
Probably.
And then
yeah.
afterwards, they were like, I hope you go
Thank
get
you.
help.
No, the opposite. Wait,
They
really?
were like, you need to go get help.
Really?
And so I was like, oh, okay. Thank you for your opinion. I guess I'm a little more fucked up than I thought. Because again, it's normalized. Like you
I
have
see what you're
to, like
saying.
this is your job. It's just whatever, we're doing what we have to do, and you don't think about the trauma and how it is traumatizing to your body, and it's traumatizing to see those things and experience those things and for an extended period of time. And how it affects you physiologically, you're like, oh, that's why I want to go and fight everybody. Or, that's why I need to go I bought a motorcycle because I'm like, I need that adrenaline rush.
Did I know this?
I don't know. I had it was like a little Ninja 250, but while I was going through nursing school, I had
no idea.
a motorcycle, and it was because it was an adrenaline rush for
Yeah.
me. And, at the time I was a single mom, so I didn't really, there's not really much adrenaline you can do like as a single mom, So I was like, oh, let me get
That
a
is
motorcycle.
adrenaline right there, but-
it is. And then I got T-boned and I was like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm a mom now. I
Also,
need to
bring the mic up so
did it
just
go?
a little bit. Right there. There you go.
rested my chin.
There you go. Perfect. There you go. Stupid. Okay, so there's
There's a lot to unpack.
Yeah. No, that's totally fine. If you know where you're going with the story, keep going. Because I don't really have a question. I just wanted to like keep the story going.
Yeah. So long story short, in the Army, did my time, and then got out of the Army. So that was a lot. That was a huge transition. Like,
And
I
how
said,
long were you in?
I was in over almost 4 years. I got out early. I got out maybe a couple weeks early, and thank God, because they lost my unit, which means nobody can get out of the Army. Like your contract is automatically extended. You can't do anything. And so they did that because they went back over to Iraq. And they went back over to Iraq for another year. So again, thank God, people were looking out for me. Got out of the Army and took an awesome road trip with my dad because he came and flew to Georgia, and that way we road tripped it back. And so that was a great memory that I have. And then got home, and I believe it was maybe 2 days later that my Nana passed away, and she was like insistent on seeing me. And she was like, I need to see you. I need to see you. And I was like, okay, Nana, like I just got home. Okay, that's fine. I'll come see you. Or she's like, no. And so she made my thought to come to see me. And she gave me like the biggest hug, and later realized that was her goodbye hug because she died the next day. And this is important only because, sorry, Mom, but I'm going to put her stuff out there. So my tata called my mom and was like, your mom's not waking up. And I was living with my mom, obviously just got home. And she's like, something's wrong with your Nana, let's go. So I got up and I left, bra not even on, out the door, let's go. And so we got there, and I knew it right away. I was like, she's dead. Like, and so my mom, and this is another traumatic thing that happened, looked at me and said, you're the reason my mom is dead.
Oh, fuck.
And I was like, and she doesn't remember, I believe she doesn't remember saying this, and I don't hold it against her. But she feels that my Nana, prayed and did all the things and exchanged her life for mine. And that's why I didn't die in the explosion. That's why I didn't die in any of the, times we were bombed. And that's why I made it home safely. But nonetheless, that shit's traumatic to hear, oh my God. And so I carried that guilt with me for years and years and years. And I think only maybe up until 3 years ago is when I finally released the guilt of that. And I kind of was like, hey, do you remember saying that to me? And she's like, no. And I'm like, of course not.
She's like, I would never say that.
I would never say that. And so, that's stuff that people deal with too, is that generational trauma and that stuff that we, I guess that's kind of childhood trauma too, because it's still from a parent authority figure.
You think, yeah.
I was going
to say parent perspective, but it's a child perspective from the parent.
Right. So so things like that. And so the toxic little comments that you get from, they always talk about, family members and all the toxicity, and realizing, oh, some of this stuff is pretty toxic, and learning to put up boundaries. Like, no, it's not this, I'm not, that's not my fault.
And just so the audience knows, your mom is a beautiful, great mom.
She's awesome.
Their parents are still people who are trying to figure life out too.
Yes.
Just like you now.
Yes.
Isn't that crazy?
Isn't that crazy?
And we'll talk about that part probably in this next little section here. But I just wanted to say your mom is amazing. And I love her, and I know you love her.
And she's very well loved. Yes, she's bubbly and stuff.
But I want to sandwich that, because that fucking sucks. That you heard that. My mother, I love my mother, and I think this is, and I think this, it's how do you say this? It's generational trauma given to the next generation after the other, after the other, after the other. And I think what you're doing is you're breaking that generational curse. And
cycle.
Yeah. So like with your daughter, and we'll talk about that right here, but like, I think that's what you're doing. And maybe you already know that. Maybe you're like self-aware enough to know that that's what you're doing. Because my mom is amazing. Her mom is amazing. But there were things that they had to do that then they said that then ended up hurting them as people, that they then gave to the next generation, i.e. me, my sister. They're not bad people, but they had to fucking survive.
And that's the thing, is you're in survival mode. And it's crazy, because just yesterday I was thinking about the talking points, and I was thinking about the stuff that I wanted to say. And I was like, oh my God, my youngest, my two, because my kids are spread out. I have 19, 11, 7, and 2. So yeah, right, surprise. So I was like,
hey, and she goes, and I'm only 28 years old. What are you talking about?
I'm only 28. Typical Mexican. Yeah. No, but no, my 2-year-old, I was like, she is my first kid that I am parenting out of survival mode. And that was like a huge like epiphany for me yesterday, that I was like, she gets to experience this version of me
that the other
that
kids
the others
never
don't get. And I'm very proud of myself, and I'm very proud of that I'm not the person that I am anymore, but my heart still breaks for my 19-year-old that had to deal with,
and
mommy,
now let's talk about so you you just talked about I was gonna say nanacita, Jesus, Nana.
Nana.
And that was weird, but I just let it go. And so and then the traumatic thing that happened with you and your mom, and suppressing it and stuff like that. So then going forward now, talk to me about the children. Talk to me about becoming a mom.
Yeah. So again, adrenaline junkie, and I was not being very safe dating her dad. So again, that was like part of the adrenaline, and trying to like get that high that I was not necessarily high, but that adrenaline that you have when you're in a war zone and you're constantly like on high. And I didn't want to deal with my emotions, and I was avoiding that by getting this adrenaline rush. So I love her to death. She's not an accident, but she was a surprise. So she came very quickly after I got out of the military, and I was like, okay, I can't go out drinking. I can't go out drinking and driving, because I was again, just trying to get that adrenaline rush and doing very unsafe things. And that was a cry for help, but nobody heard my cries.
Yeah.
Nobody close to me heard my cries. And so I think God was like, you know what, baby, I know you're going to be a good mom. So boop, let's do that. And
responsibility
immediately right now.
Wow.
So got pregnant. And so that was like, okay, I need to do something. And so I was like, let's go to nursing school. I had I was working as like a medical assistant, and no knock on the medical assistants and stuff. But when I was in the Army, I was able to do things at like maybe a physician assistant level. Like I was doing surgery, I was doing stuff that didn't translate to
Like that's higher level stuff, right?
that's higher. You got like a physician, and then you have physician assistants, which are mid levels, nurse practitioner type, and then registered nurse, and then you have like a medical assistant, nursing assistant type that don't have like the skill set that you have. So it didn't translate very well to civilian world. So I'm like, okay, I need to go and get a degree. So I was like, nursing degree, that's cool. Let me do that. And so trying to do that, working 3 jobs and being a single mom. And I love my parents because I don't think it would have been possible because they took care of Ani. My dad, he was retired and he, love him. He took care of her, and so
I can see that. I can see that, and like I know that they don't know the house. I can see literally like their house and the backyard, and like like the what was it the trampoline? What was it? I don't know if they had it at the time, but like I'm just in my head. I can see like them loving to spend time with Ani, and anyway. So.
And she was the first grandchild. My mom finally got one. So.
Yeah.
And she was the last sister, I believe, that became Yes, that became a grandma, I want to say. So, of course, the tias were like, oh, you're not a grandma yet. So I was like, okay, here you go. But yeah, they took care of her. They allowed me to do that. But I was still in such a survival mode. And I say because I wanted to keep myself busy because all these thoughts and all these like of the explosion of like the traumatic, like seeing people, human being ripped open, shot, limbs shot off, blood squirting everywhere, and then just living in horrible conditions. Literally, tent city is what we were at. We had a tent, and it was up to 150 degrees at one point. Like it was hot, and then it was freezing at night because it's a desert. We had the shit pile.
Yeah.
We had a 5-gallon jug on a piece of plywood for showers. So like it all that stuff was like starting to come, and I was like, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. And so that's one of the responses from, a traumatic event is you don't want to deal with it, you avoid it. So that's what I did. Nursing school, 3 jobs, single mom. Piece of cake, right? And I think one of the motivating factors was that first semester, my nursing school teacher was like, oh, you're a single mom? You're not going to make it. And you have 3 jobs? Yeah, you're not going to make it. And I was like, okay, bitch, bet. I got you. Yeah, she was horrible.
I hate when people talk
right.
like that.
And then that's why I think.
You don't know me?
You don't know. Yeah, you just motivated me.
Yeah, are you fucking kidding me? She doesn't know. She's like, do you know what I just saw like a couple years, like a year ago?
Yeah.
Anyway.
So got through nursing school, and then that's when it hit me like a ton of bricks, all the stuff that I was avoiding. So I'm huge on not burying anything traumatic, any symptoms that you have, because you bury it, it's just going to grow. It's going to grow into something. And that's when, again, I was out leaving Ani with my parents. Like, I'm going to go out drinking. The VA dealt with my pain by giving me narcotics, which was probably not the best idea because I was still drinking, and I was like not trying to numb this pain. And then I was like, you know what? I need to try something. This is not okay. It's not okay for my daughter. I know that it's not okay. Let me try therapy. And so dealing with a therapist that wasn't in the military, didn't go through what I went through, I used as an excuse to be like, I don't want to talk to you. You don't know. You weren't there. You don't know what I went through. And so I wouldn't go.
I never even thought about that. Like, if you don't, they have to understand what you went through.
It was a lot of book terms being thrown at me. And one psychologist actually said, again, you're a woman, you weren't on the front lines. And so I think I threw some stuff on his thing. I said, write whatever the fuck you want to write about me. I'm gone. Like, I don't care what you say about me. I don't care what you put in my medical charts. I'm gone, because it just pissed me off, because I'm like, well, how are you going to tell me? First of all, women, a lot of women don't get respected. We park in a veteran parking spot, and you hear all these women that are like why are you parking there? You know, they get told, why are you parking there? So it's already that we're a minority in, you know, this world. And then you're going to tell me what I experienced over there and you weren't there. So, you know, there's a lot of gaps there. I think the VA has made strides, huge strides to try and help veterans and try and become trauma informed and all these different modalities. But what I experienced was a huge gap in care. Like, you know, telling me what I experienced, what the textbook says I should be experiencing. They're like, oh, you don't have PTSD that's impacting your life because you just graduated from nursing school. Like, there's no way that you can be dealing with PTSD and graduate from nursing school. And because it's supposed to be debilitating and supposed to, you know, you're not supposed to be able to, it's supposed to impact your life and your daily, your daily habits and
What
stuff.
you're saying is that PTSD, it should be affecting your daily life. And
By
because
definition.
it was almost masked.
Exactly. Well, I was masking.
Or not almost, because you were so good at masking your PTSD, they were like, you don't have a problem.
Yeah.
You should be it's exhibiting. You should be, what's the word? Is the word exhibiting?
Yeah,
you should be showing more symptoms of being
Fucked up.
yeah,
you could say
that,
yeah, you
like
could say
if you had PTSD, so you do not have PTSD there because you're not showing it.
Mm-hmm. And they actually, you know, and for the disability rating, they actually, once I graduated nursing school, they actually took some of that percentage away from me because they're like, oh, you're doing well, you're doing great. And so,
What do you mean they took that percentage away from you? What does that mean to a regular person?
So you get, for VA disability, you get a percentage and you get a rating depending on how severe your symptoms are. So because I graduated from nursing school, my symptoms weren't at a like 70%. We're going to take that away from you and you're now only like 30%. So that correlates to money. Like disability ratings, you get money, and later on down the line, like depending on what you're rated at, you know, you get health care and different things. So that's just a huge slap in people's face. You know, right now, what was passed for veterans really sucks too. I know we're going off on a tangent with this disability.
Because remember, I'm not one to, I don't know.
No, it's okay. You don't know what you don't know until you know. But
Exactly.
but yeah, right. Recently, they just passed it that if you're taking medicine for like a knee or lower back pain and it's helping you, they can decrease your rating. So that's and the same thing for mental health. Like if you're taking these mental health medications and they're helping you and you're coping well, we're going to take some of that disability rating away. So to me, that's like,
But doesn't that disability doesn't that disability rating getting taken away stop the person from being able to get help to then feel better?
Or they're going to be like, I'm going to be off my meds. See how you like me now.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
Yeah, you're going to have more people that are affected by not only veterans, but their family members. Because, and I say that because my dad was a Vietnam veteran, my tíos, Vietnam veterans, and my tías, they went through it. You know, dealing with
through those issues with them. Yeah,
dealing with the
ramifications of the PTSD.
Yeah, the PTSD and all the stuff that they were going through, and so that affects everybody. Like not only veterans, it's like the community at large. Like it's all tied together, and so it's like I said, the VA is great in some aspects, and but there's still a huge gap in care and trying to connect the veteran. And just having time. I worked for the VA. I retired from the VA system in 2023. So knowing the system and knowing how to work it, I still fell through the gaps with mental health. And it took me pulling the I know the system card, get me your manager's email type thing to get help. And so it shouldn't be that hard, to try and get care. So again, another reason why I'm so passionate about this is because I want somebody to be like, oh, you were there. You know what you're talking about. You're not just talking all these facts that, the book tells you, or, I lived through it. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you here.
Well, I feel like
help me help you.
Yeah. Help me. I feel like, and I feel like you having gone through those things really does help somebody, because whenever you're trying to assist somebody in some sort of mental health therapy like situation, if you can't relate to that person, then just like what happened to you, they're gonna get fucking pissed off, and you're not gonna be able to like cut through. I
Yeah.
feel like.
And and that's hard too, because I want to help so many people and I want to be like, this is what you need. But I also, in the same sense, need to be like, if you're ready, I'm here. I can't like the whole can't force a horse to drink water
At the well with the camel
with
and
the
stuff,
camel
yeah,
and look
all
him in
that.
the teeth or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Lift him up by the horns, something. Yeah,
You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
that, yeah.
Yeah. Productive chaos. So, but yeah, so it's as a, on the other side of me, there's a duality there where the person that's lived it wants to be like, dude, just do this. You know, it's going to be helpful. But the healer, teacher,
new woman
person needs to be like,
I can't force you.
I can't force you. You need to make this decision on your own.
Yeah.
And I'll be there beside you. I'll walk with you. I will, hold your hand if you need it. But this is the door you're going to have to walk through.
Now, one of my, and we'll get into the segment in a second, because I do want to talk about you and your daughter and like the stuff that like, that you have like started to learn about in terms of like the healing process for you as the mother to her. But I don't want to forget, this is the reason why social media is so important, because before it was, I mean, I'm not saying like you couldn't do it. People have done it, raising funds and finding people and and helping others the way that you want to help others, right? But now with something like this, and I want to help you, like in that segment of like the social media analyzing, like that we're going to do in a second, I'm going to tell you exactly what I want you and need you to do in order to get as many at-bats, literally selling one to many as possible. So that way people can know what Healing Buddy is. And that way you can really help a whole lot of fucking people.
And that's what I want to do.
There you go. Okay. So let's finish up right here. On this segment, because now I know I am speed racing this whole freaking thing.
There's tons, I know, and then every little thing leads into another, and I get it.
And again, which is fine, but I also like there was something that you and I talked about whenever we were on the phone the other day, which is about you and your daughter, and you saying, or not just saying, but like apologizing for some of the stuff, and I would my mother has done this already, where she has apologized for some of the things. And I would like to hear from you what you felt and why you had to apologize and how that went in that conversation.
Yeah, it was several conversations, but I think she needed to learn, or she needed to understand, and she needed to hear it from me, that accountability aspect. Like, you know what? This was none of your fault. I was dealing with a lot of stuff that was none of your fault. I was not parenting you the way that I didn't show up for you the way that I wanted to show up for you. So I am sorry. I'm sorry for yelling at you when you were going too slow and I was in a hurry. And I was like, get your fucking shoes on, or, and it was crazy. I was asking her the other day, like, do you remember getting up in the middle of the night and wanting to sleep with me? And I was so hell bent, like, no, you need to sleep in your own room. And I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I got like 3 hours of sleep before I have to go and do school and all these jobs. And I would yell at her and be like, just, instead of comforting her. And I see that now in my daughter, my 2-year-old. She's sleep regression, so she's screaming for me at 4:00 in the morning, and I can go in there and just be with her and be that safe place and be that comfort. And I think you need safety and you need comfort in order for healing to happen and in order for you to self-regulate. And I wasn't that person for Ani, which is my 19-year-old. I wasn't that safe space for her. There was a lot of times that I was, but it wasn't consistent. She was like, what version of mom am I going to get? And so there's a lot of, it's called adverse childhood events, ACE. So there's a lot of stuff that manifests later on, a lot of anxiety, depression for stuff that you get when you're a child and you have these like pivotal traumatic moments, like your mom screaming at you like you're a monster and, you know, swatting her. Like I never like squared up on her, not until she was a teenager. That's,
Yeah.
but even then, you know, so parenting her from a survival mode, and just letting her know like, this is not your fault. And I'm sorry, you're not a burden. And I think just hearing that and getting that confirmation is what people need. What kids might need, you know, even when I mess up now, because I still mess up.
You're
still,
human.
I'm still a parent, right? Still, and so even when I do get elevated or, you know, trying to let my 11-year-old know, like, hey, I'm a little anxious right now, and the way I'm talking to you may not be very nice, but it has nothing to do with you. I'm not mad at you. I'm just a little anxious right now, and so I can't, you know, reach that part of my brain, the higher level thinking that's, you know, where I can be like, yes, mijo, I love you. Of course I'll listen to this 50 YouTube videos, shorts that you want me to look at, where it's a fucking cat just going,
Yeah.
but, you know,
Yeah.
so it is, I think she needed to hear, you know, that. And I think it made me feel a little bit better too, knowing that I'm acknowledging that. I'm taking accountability for, you know, hey, this is all on me. It is my fault. I'm sorry I didn't do it sooner. And this had nothing to do with you. And hopefully that can help repair, because, you know, she's dealing with a lot of anxiety, a ton of anxiety, and, you know, she's depression. And after, you know, my dad passed away, and then we lost my niece. She was 3 years old, lost my dad. We lost my cousin. She was 17 at the time, I think. So these are all major people that are close to her, you know.
Yeah.
So it's not, I know it's not just me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, she's had some major stuff that's been going on in her life, but getting that acknowledgement, like, hey, I'm sorry. This is, you know, and I wish I would have gotten that. I think I think it healed part of my inner child as well, because you wish you would have gotten that as a kid too, like, hey, this is why I yelled at you, or you know, it's not because I didn't want to listen to you, because I'm dealing with that too, of not being listened to, I guess, you know, not being heard, like. I don't like, because we're 80s babies, like, you know, not seen, not heard, get away, like, do your own thing. but yeah, so she, just that acknowledgement, I think is huge. And I keep saying it to her, and it's not anything that I expect forgiveness for. I need to forgive myself. And her, like I said, her journey is her journey. And when she's ready to either forgive and move on, then I'm going to be there with open arms and love her. But I still have to realize that was my mistake. And that's how I raised her. And there's nothing I can do about it except for apologize and be better.
Yeah.
You know?
My mom is doing a really good job now. I feel like she didn't know what she was doing. I can only speak from my own experience, and that's my mom, right?
We don't get a manual. We don't get a parenting manual, you know.
And so I can see that in her, that she is going to me and my sister and talking to us, and it was really cute. I think you saw it on TikTok whenever my mom surprised me. Yeah. Well, I think we were on the phone. Yeah. My mom surprised me, and she came over and she just wanted to spend some time with me. And I'm like, this is nice. Where was this? Mm-hmm. I mean, but at the time, she was surviving. She was trying to figure out her place as a woman in the workforce, as a wife, as a mother. Like so much. And so I now don't blame her. I blame both my mom and my dad when I was younger. And then I started growing up and I'm like, damn, this shit is hard. What the
being an adult.
Oh my God. And they had kids, and they had me. So like I can see that, like, I'm just glad that, like, you and I think the reason why I'm saying this is, like, so for the audience, so that way, like, the audience can get something from this, is like there if there's still something that pissed you off that your mom or your dad did or your guardian did, then please know that there has to be something that they were trying to deal with and they were trying to figure out, and they're not perfect. They're just humans trying to figure it out just like you. And so if there needs to be a conversation, please let this be your sign to have that conversation with them.
Yeah, and for yourself. I think mainly for yourself, because I don't
Well, no, I mean,
don't
thank
think it's
you.
an excuse.
Yeah.
There's, like I didn't know better excuse. Like that's kind of hard for me to like, I didn't know better. And there is there's stuff you didn't know and blah, blah, blah. But once you bring it up, and I feel like that baby boomer like generation is always like, well, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I did what I could. Man, it's not my fault. It's your fault, and I feel like there's still that resistance to accountability that our generation has. Like, I'm going to take accountability for my actions and I'm going to apologize. And I think that's still very hard for that older generation to do, is take that accountability. So I think if you want to have a conversation with your parents, I think that's great. I think you should, but I think you should go in there with the intention that this is for my own healing. And don't expect them to have this huge epiphany and be like, I apologize and you're right. I was in survival mode and I couldn't access my prefrontal cortex and because, I was, blah, blah, blah. And, but do it with that intention. Like, hey, I'm going to do this because I'm going to say my piece. And this is how I felt. And whether or not you're going to validate my feelings or not shouldn't
dictate.
Goal. Yeah. But I'm still going to do this for myself and say, I forgive you for being a piece of shit parent to me, but not knowing.
Yes.
But not knowing any better. Because I think when you go in there with expectations of somebody else, having this epiphany, and it you might be disappointed, you know, and what you should take away from that is your own journey and what you're going to get out of it. And whether it's healing for you to speak up and say, because it might be triggering to go to your mom and say, hey, it really hurt me when you said it was my fault that Nana died. And, I know your mom just died like 10 minutes ago, but you didn't think about me at that point except to blame me.
Yeah.
So it doesn't, I don't think it helps to go in there and expect that.
You're very correct. And only you would know more than, honestly, and that's why we're talking about this, is because without that little piece of wisdom, telling the audience to do that, or giving the audience permission to do that, but then also having expectation is not good. So I appreciate you saying that, because it has to be for you.
Yeah. Don't go to your mom and be like, I saw this podcast and they told me that you were going to have this epiphany and take responsibility. No, sorry.
So
I wish that would happen for everybody, because then we'd all be less fucked up.
Yes.
But, it doesn't work that way.
I am, so what we're going to do is we're going to hear from a word from our sponsors, and our sponsor is me, Five Flash Media. And so we'll be right back.
This episode is brought to you by Five Flash Media.
Hey, don't you have an event coming up that you need live video production for?
I think I do. Who should I call?
You should probably call Five Flash Media, and you can reach them on all social medias at Five Flash Media.
Okay, I'm going to do that because I heard that they're the best at everything. Anything video, photography, mobile podcasting. I mean, who's doing our show right now?
Five Flash Media.
Go to Five Flash Media on all platforms.
And we are back, and my mom is actually in the chat. So for everybody who is watching, I do not have a TV up here for the live stream, so I can't see the people who are commenting right here. And so I ran to go to go see what people were saying, and just to make sure that the stream was still live. So we're good.
We're good.
45
minutes later.
Yeah. My mom. No, my mom. She was real cute in there. She said, "Thank you for educating us."
Oh, she's so cute. I love her. I miss her.
Me too. I don't get to spend enough time with her. So in this segment here, I want to go through your social media. and I want to. People don't know what I do, and that's why I wanted to play Five Flash Media with all that. So, what I do is I do social media management. I'm a nerd when it comes to content, when it comes to the algorithm, when it comes to getting attention online. That's the shit that I love. I am such a nerd when it comes to that. So, what I want to do is I want to go into your. Is that
Sweet.
Olga? I'm sorry. Does Olga have a TikTok?
I think she
Olga de
does,
la Cruz
yeah.
started following you.
Yes,
Oh, she is watching.
She's watching. Sorry, Mom. I love
No,
you.
no, no.
We did say that you're an amazing person.
Yes, I sandwiched that. My mom is also watching, so they're both watching. Anyway, and I said that you're amazing, Mom.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go into. We're gonna go into.
Mashed 2 ripe
Alicea's-
bananas.
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 ALY, right? What's your at on social?
Healing Buddy Alley.
Okay. Healing Buddy Alley. Okay, I'm gonna put this here. Okay, so what? I'll ask you this. And right now, to be historically correct, she has 252 followers. I'm expecting people to go follow her and I do want to see this page grow, obviously, but I'm also going to give her some stuff. So this first one, I texted you this saying that I wanted you to make this video, and you did make this video, and it was adorable, and we're going to watch it.
So I'm getting ready for this podcast that I'm going to do with Joshua Coates tomorrow. That is. We get to talk about myself and my story, and I'm excited. He owns Five Flash Media, which is an audio video photography, I believe, production company. He filmed our wedding, and he did an amazing job. But he also has a podcast, and so he's trying to bring the community together and get everybody's stories out there and see what they're doing to help the community and get aware.
So and I appreciate you making that video. So a few things. First, do you have a website for this? And no, I do not make websites, just so everybody knows. I will refer you to a guy. But do you have a website for Healing Buddy?
We do. It's in the works.
Okay.
We still haven't. There's a lot of logistics we have to work out.
For sure.
But we do have a website, and so with that page is my personal page that I made into the Healing Buddy page.
Sure.
I have tried with like 3 different emails
to make
another one, and one of them got suspended. And I was like, I'm a big woo woo person, so I'm like, okay, universe, I get it. I just need a TikTok. I'm gonna transition from personal to like the business.
Good.
And so I couldn't put the link in the bio to our link tree, but the link tree has all of our socials. It has our donation page, and it has a link to our website.
Okay. So let's talk to me real quick about what is the mission statement and vision statement of Healing Buddy?
So the mission is to educate the community at whole, because originally I just wanted to do veterans, and then I was like, no, you know what? It needs to be available to everyone. So the mission is to educate people on PTSD and trauma, and then to walk beside them on their healing journey. And, that can be done and facilitated through our classes, one-on-one coaching, because I'm also a life coach, and retreats. So the retreats are going to be more geared towards healing and that aspect, and, meditation and going down the healing journey. The classes are going to be geared more towards education, and that that can be local. But long story short, that's our mission.
Okay.
And then our slogan is a lighthouse of love and healing.
Oh.
And so I know Moshe thought that was maybe a little too feminine at first, and I was like, I don't care.
Do you not see me? I got a beautiful relationship with my girlfriend, and I'm more feminine. I'm feminine masculine, all right? Moshe.
We should be, and that we have a whole section on feminine and masculine, and that duality, yeah, because that's huge. We need to work. It's designed to work where you're both feminine and masculine, and have those yin and yang literally work together.
And I don't know how that is. I know it's important. I just don't know how it's important. But I know that I allow myself to be more feminine in these conversations, and then more masculine in the places that I need to be.
And that's perfect. That's where you need, your masculine to really shine and get you through and push through things that you need to. And then you need your feminine to like sit back and, be emotion and bring that emotion into things. And, there's obviously a ton more that goes into feminine, masculine, but that's great. And that's awesome that you don't shy away from that, because I think that's very healing in itself.
I will tell you, and then we'll talk about this in a second. Remind me at the next segment here, but remind me about how everybody called me gay my entire life, including one of our cousins that really fucked me up mentally at your parents' house. And so anyway, we'll talk about that in a second. What I want to do is, I just thought about this right now, because I think this is going to be a great example. The trick between, not the trick, and there's no tips and tricks or anything like that. It is how quickly can you get an idea to then get an idea in your head to then grab your phone, to then make the video, to then post the damn thing. The amount of friction, you have to reduce the amount of friction, and that now you probably, well,
I'm struggling with that big time, because
so,
it feels inauthentic to have a camera and have the light and the.
And now this, I will say to everybody here, there is really good lighting. I've invested a lot of fucking money into these cameras and the lights and the audio and the everything. Okay, but that's not. So disregard all of that. What I'm going to do, because my screen is being mirrored onto right here, I'm going to do a live demonstration of what I want you to be doing. And this is going to sound psycho, but I want you to do 10 videos like this every single day.
You realize
10.
I have other businesses, Mom.
Well, and we're actually going to talk about that too. We're right here. We're going to talk about that, because this is not just about Alicea or a healing buddy. This is about you relating to people and utilizing the algorithm to find the right audience. Not going viral. No more of that shit. Okay? Because people, you're gonna get, you could get 1 million views and nobody comes to your retreats.
Yeah.
What's the fucking point?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do a real life demonstration. This shouldn't have gotten out of there. So I'm gonna go here. I'm going to. Right? Okay, so I'm going to make a video. They're literally watching me make a video on the thing, okay? And of course my mom is calling. Okay, well, you know what? Here, let's heal some trauma right now. Okay. All right, you are live right now on the podcast.
Hi. Hi, Mija. I love you.
Yep, we are live right now. So no, go look right now, because I turned it back on. You are live on TikTok and YouTube. So this is my mom, everybody. Say hi. Hi. Okay, I'm going to hang up with you so I can do something real quick. I love you. Bye. Love you guys. Love you. Bye.
I love her.
Yep. And now everybody knows what my mom looks like. Okay, so.
Ladybug mom.
Yep, Ladybug mom. She's so cute. Okay, so pretend this is you. I'm going to talk as if, I am me talking about you. TikTok. My name is Joshua Coatson, and we are live on a podcast. Me and Alicea, Healing Buddy Ali. And what I want you guys to, I hate when people say that. Please look at her account. She is helping people with trauma, and she's helping people with PTSD. And she's also my friend and my family. And literal family, yes. Literal family, blood family, like family. Please go check her stuff out. We are literally live on TikTok, and we are creating a YouTube video right now. Say one thing real quick.
One thing real quick.
Perfect. Okay. Talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye. Now, I don't even know if... My name is Joshua Coates, and we are live on a podcast. Okay, Me so and I'm turning... Alisea, I can't even turn it down. Here.
Healing
Buddy Ali. And
healing.
So I'm going to
What
show
I
you.
want you guys
it's gonna be annoying real quick.
I hate when people say that.
Healing Buddy.
Please look at her
Ali.
account. She is helping people with trauma, and she's helping people with PTSD. And she's also my friend and my family.
PTSD
and literal family. Literal
and
family, blood family, like
mental
family.
Health.
Please go check her stuff out. We are literally...
Okay, so the reason why I put PTSD and mental health. So what TikTok and Instagram and Facebook does is they are reading what you put into the video. So those are keywords, okay? The less you give a shit about what you say and how you say it, the better. So that's why I did it that way, because I fucked up. And then I said, you know what? We're going to keep going. Because people relate to people who fuck up. Why? Because we fuck up.
Because it's authentic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I am nothing less than authentic. Okay. Then in the description, we're putting PTSD. Ali and I talk PTSD and mental health. And then now we're going to put 3 hashtags. The hashtags are so that way. Now, the hashtags go in order. You want to go, they have to get picked up correctly. Do you know all this?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm like
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure.
No.
So then I'm going to put the first hashtag is going to be, you want it to have the most searches. And that's, it shows like how many
posts. Okay.
Yeah. So PTSD has 1.6 million posts. So I'm going to click PTSD. I'm going to go mental health. Has 427,000. And then trauma, TRAUMA. And that has 4 million. So the first one, it has to get picked up by the first one or none of it works.
Okay.
And so I can't say right now, hashtag Baby J Show. Nobody fucking knows what this is yet. And when I say that, only 10,000 people know. That's less than a half of an inch of a dime of a, you know what I mean? Like it goes all the way. That's wrong. I'm not math. I don't
the math ain't math.
Exactly.
Yes.
So there's that. Then edit cover. We want people to see what the title is. And then we're just going to find something and we're going to make sure that people can see it. Save. Then we are going to add some form of geographical location. That way we are niching down.
Okay.
We want people to know within the community. This is the Mesa community. This isn't Florida. This isn't California. People can get that in Florida. We want people to know here. So then what we're going to do, we're going to post. And we're just going to wait for that to go. And as you can tell, the rest of the post, I left it so that way people could read it. I did the same thing. And now we're just going to let it go. Okay? That was as quick as I need you to do this.
Every day.
And
it is quick, so it doesn't take a lot of time. I think that's the thing. I'm getting hung up and I'm like, oh my God. What's going on?
What are the right words?
Yeah,
So here's the last thing that I want to give you. Every time you do this, whatever you do, and it's kind of meta because I'm doing this in here for the TikTok clips that I'm going to clip out of this podcast for me and you, is I'm saying something 3 to 5 times over and over again within a 45-second period. So whenever you said PTSD, I said PTSD 5 times in our first segment.
Okay.
For that particular clip. In here, if you want to talk about, and you don't have to put this is the beauty of it, okay? This is a game. And you make up the rules. You do not have to post your children. You don't have to post Moshe. You don't have to post anything. You can post what you want. So if it comes to just Healing Buddy, then you can just talk about, hey, like today, all I want to do is I want to tell you in 5 different videos the different kinds of things that you can do to heal your inner child. And you don't have to do the whole, the clip farming thing where it's like, here's the 5 things that, like, just say like, hey, this is one thing that you can do to heal that little girl inside you. And it's this. And here's why. Thank you, love you, bye. That's what you don't have to, obviously don't copy that. You don't have to copy that. But like, that's what I do to shut up the conversation for myself. Then you go in there, as long as you said, in order to heal the little girl inside you, for healing of that little girl, and the last thing, to heal her, you said heal 3 times. Then you put the hashtag heal mental health, and it's I don't want to say law of averages. The more times that the algorithm can pick up heal and healing and mental health and PTSD, if those are the things that you're saying, then you are going to find the right audience. And that is the trick of doing all of this.
Okay. No, that makes sense. And that's what we want to do. That's what I want to do, is find the right people to get them help.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I'm assuming that you, but anyway, so that I hadn't thought about that being like he's a real life example. And one of the things that I do love, I do love that you, the way you did this was perfect, because you were doing something in the video. I mean, I'm sure you've seen this where like they do like the makeup and they do the things and that. You don't have to do that shit, okay? You can literally just talk to the camera. But the friction, reduce the friction, make 10 videos a day. Pick one I know. Pick one platform. And I want you to focus on TikTok right now, because you can, what I do and what everybody does, what all the successful people do, is they take that one piece of content and they repurpose it to all of the other ones.
That's what I've been doing, posting the same video on Facebook or Instagram.
Okay, good, good, yeah. But don't worry about, I mean, you can, but I'm saying get good at talking to the camera, holding it, because it feels weird.
It does, it feels so weird.
And I'll show you off camera, but I started another TikTok page to yell at my camera, and it started blowing up. One of the reasons why is because I was afraid. I had people on TikTok and on Instagram that I was afraid they were going to, They were going to judge me, because they knew me by me working 3 jobs. They knew me from In-N-Out. They knew me from Chipotle. They knew me from working at EOS Fitness as a sales guy. So who the fuck am I to tell them what to do on social media? That's how they remember me. So I was so afraid to say anything on social media. That's why I started that other page. Now, what it sounds like is you don't have that ability. And the best part is that you here, where did you go? Sorry. You have again
this
where is it? Where are you? I'm trying to go to you. You have 252 followers. That's perfect. You are starting from the bottom.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks for that reminder.
Okay, no. But that's always the best, because there's nothing, there's only up.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to let you fucking fail. I'm family.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, like she gets 30% off of my
Yes. Plug.
Yeah. No, really though. Like I'm not going to let you fail. And that's one of the reasons why we're doing this podcast. That's one of the reasons why I'm going to cut out the clips. And for everybody else who's listening, who's either on TikTok or on YouTube or wherever they're seeing this, if you come on my podcast, then we do have a conversation, and then I will give you, the guest, 5 clips from this that are per the algorithm, the best for virality. And that's what I'm giving you regardless. That's what I'm going to give them.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Okay. Last thing. So whenever you do have a website, I want to talk to you about making a small little documentary style video, so that way people can obviously good royalty free music, good clips, good everything like that. That way people will come to your page and they will want to give you money. Yes, because it's not the end all be all, but it is the resource that we need in order to fucking help people.
We do. And that's the thing. It was not a decision that went lightly, but that's why we went the nonprofit status, is because we don't want money to be an issue to getting healing, to getting help. And I figured, you know what? We can do this nonprofit. That way people can get something out of, oh, hey, you want to donate some money? You can get a little tax cut there, or, feel good about donating.
And I think that goes perfectly into the next little segment here is, so how is Healing Buddy going to help the community?
Aside from healing and spreading love and light and education, I think being that nonprofit status, again, working out logistics and stuff, but I think being able to crowdsource and get that out there. We're doing a free class, which is, we call it HB 100. We kind of set it up like college classes.
Hey, no, that's really smart.
Yeah, so it'll be HB 100 that, it's a free class. Come out here. This is the pathway you can take, if you want to sign up for the educational classes, or sign up for the whole shebang. It's free. Take what you will. We will do a readiness assessment for you. So if you don't know where you're at, take this assessment. This is where we think you're at, and what you need, and what would be valuable for you. And then, hey, if you want to donate, here's our link. You could donate. Spread the word, however that works. But I think it's going to help the community with accessibility. The more people that spread the word, get out there, come to these, open houses and sign up and donate, like the crowdsourcing. If you can donate and say, hey, here's $100, that's going to help, several people, veterans, whoever, get the education that they need, and cost is not going to be an issue to them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think, I'm very passionate about it, and if I can give it for free, I would. I mean, realistically, that's just,
not how
things cost money.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong. And this is something that I want the people to know. And I want you to know, especially that's why, like, this is third-party credibility, third-party credibility from me to the audience, not just you saying it to people, is that the way that I foresee this, okay, is there's a lot of organizations that you're able to give to, anybody, right? On every level. Mm-hmm. And what I want to do is I want to bring really good, important organizations together, for-profit or non-for-profit. And within this community, those people then have options to then give Healing Buddy $100, $1,000, $10,000. The other part of this, because yes, that is good. Just being a good person. It is good to be a good person.
Good person,
right?
With deep pockets, yes.
But also on the business side of things, and I'm learning about this too. Like I obviously have a for-profit, and you are a nonprofit. But as a nonprofit, as a for-profit, giving to a nonprofit, it does help you on your taxes. Mm-hmm. It does help you reduce, I believe, income taxes. Like there's a lot of benefits, and obviously the people who have been in business longer know about all of these things. And I'm just learning. I'm only 4 years in business, and you're getting started with this, but you obviously know a lot of these things.
These naps are crazy,
dude. Oh my God, don't even get me started. You know a lot of these things. You know more than I do, and there are people who know more than I do, but there are benefits to giving to a nonprofit. And so what I want to do is I want to bring people in on this podcast and then we create a community where when there is an opportunity to help with reducing your taxes and reducing this and helping in business, then those businesses in this community can then come to Healing Buddy. Then they can come to some of these nonprofits, and we can help each other as a community.
And that's exactly what my vision was too, because I've done a lot of personal development, like retreats and classes and stuff that were for profit. And not that it didn't help me, not that it didn't, help the bigger picture, help in general. But I think me personally, as the one going and helping, I did not feel comfortable making it a for-profit.
Got it.
I genuinely want to go and help you, and I genuinely think it needs to be accessible to everyone. And if cost is the number one issue, then let's find a way to mitigate that by making it a nonprofit and hoping that, the crowdsourcing and stuff will help with that. So, and, I've got other side businesses and wonderful VA disability that's coming in.
And I do want to get to that that other. Actually, let's just do it right now. Let's no. But do you want to add anything else? Like you had an amazing story that led up to literally why you are helping all of these people. You from all of your experiences to then coming out of the Army to then becoming a mother, then wanting to heal yourself and in return healing others. Is there anything that you would like to leave the audience with at all?
I think just healing is possible, and it fucking sucks at first. It really does. You feel like you're just in this void of, or like this, pit of despair, suckiness, looking in the mirror, like, oh my God, I'm a piece of shit. But getting through that and knowing why you act the way you act, and knowing, oh my God, it's my brain. It's not because I'm choosing to be this way. It's because of what happened to me.
Yeah.
This is why I am this way. It's not, it's not that I'm choosing to do this to myself. I think once you get past that and realize, okay, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, healing is possible. You just have to want to take that journey. I think that's the life-changing moment, is people don't like to feel crappy, and addressing that stuff, addressing the trauma, you have to do it at first. You have to sit with the suck, and you have to realize, okay, these are my triggers, and how do I mitigate that? And how do I bring myself back down? But yeah, I think the one takeaway is that healing is possible, and I'm living proof of that. So
that's beautiful. Yeah. I didn't get to one thing in the last one, and we'll talk about that off camera. And for everybody because I'm gonna be asking this on further podcasts, and this will help with the social media stuff. But how about this? Whenever I give you the clips, I want you to comment what this is, so that way we can start the conversation. But aside from all of this, what is something that people do not know about you because you don't post it, but you love it so much? And you don't have to answer right now. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. You don't have to answer right now, but and I'll explain later why that's important. But for the last little thing, I want to open this up. So Alicia, whenever she came in here, I'm going to put the camera on me. Alicia, whenever she came in here, she gave me I was not expecting this, okay? It is, now, can you tell, while I'm opening this up, can you tell them that you I never gave her my logo. So look at this. Look how cute this is. So how did you do this?
So one of my side businesses,
and I'm opening this up right now.
Yeah, it's AXQM Design. So I do custom apparel. So that's, I stole your logo from Instagram and in Photoshop. Your signature was off of a picture that you sent me from Anais quinceañera.
Holy shit.
And I just redid it. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So anyways, yeah, this is sublimation. That's
Holy
a Tumblr
shit.
with the same thing.
Oh my God, this is so, dude, I'm not kidding you. I was oh my God. Hold on. So that way oh Oh my God, I was literally like, I was calling this chick about this so that way I could put it on the podcast. This is so fucking cute.
So I turned my love for like crafting and all that stuff into like a little side business. So,
Oh,
but yeah.
look, hold on. There's two lids.
For hot
You're
and
so
cold.
smart. Okay, here. Oh, something dropped. What is this? Oh my God, look at this. Look at this. Okay, and Healing Buddy.
So both of them. So that's a journal. I know you wanted to start like a community book or something. And so I was like, there you go. There's your book. You
Oh
can
my
start
God,
with,
that is
you know,
so smart. You're
one spot.
Damn. Okay, here. I mean, this is 101. This is talking about
Branding.
Branding 101. Oh, and then you. Yep, perfect.
And it was hard because you're not branding. And I'm like, Joshua, I had to go steal a picture off of your Instagram, but there's not much branding going on for your.
Oh my God, what is
your
this?
company.
Hold on. And then, I wish I would have worn this fucking shirt this whole time.
I wanted
okay.
you to put your coffee in your tumbler, and you wanted to open it on camera. So
Yeah, I wanted to open it on camera.
Part of I'm letting you do your own journey, Joshua. So I'm letting you
Look how healed she is. Wow.
I wanted you to open that so you can, but you wanted to open it. Now,
You know,
so
okay, look, as family, you could have yelled at me. And then you could have, on camera, you could have said, I'm sorry for yelling.
But this is how it's supposed to happen.
Oh my God, hold on, let me open this up. And then, oh my God, this is so cute. You're amazing. Holy shit. So you do
So
all of
it's not
this.
just your stuff. I did have to put my own little plug in
No,
there.
no, that's perfect. Okay, and then here, so people can see. Healing Buddy. That is amazing. Wow. And she put her you're so smart.
Yeah, I think it's on this side too.
Oh yeah, no, we are going to work together. We are 100% going to work together. And for anybody in the community, if they are looking for somebody to, what do you call this? Sourcing like products or like what is this?
Yeah, I do. I'm just custom apparel and design
And this is the side gig?
yeah.
She fucking.
It seems like people want custom T-shirts a lot, but as gifts, I usually do like the bags or the cups. Especially teacher gifts because tumblers are just who doesn't love tumblers?
Wow.
And
Wow.
then, I mean, anything we can pretty much do anything. It's called sublimation. I do a lot of sublimation. So if you're looking for sublimation blanks and seeing what can be done, I mean, keychains, journals, T-shirts, bags. Bottle openers.
That's why your shirt looks so sexy.
Yes.
God. Okay, yeah, we're gonna talk after this. Last question. Man, and I'm so sorry for the last like 3 or 4 people because I have sucked so bad at this because they have asked questions to then ask the next person and I fucking suck. So all
Now
I'm
you
gonna
have a
do,
book. You just put it
oh,
down.
dude, oh no, I will. It's gonna be right here. You're so fucking smart. This is literally what I would do if I was going on a podcast. This is again 101. If you are going to, how do you create? I don't want to say value, but I don't know what the right word is. How do you become first top of mind, and how do you like literally? Because what am I gonna do? I'm going to write the question, and then it's going to remind me that Healing Buddy's on the back. That's so fucking smart. So smart. You do not know the ripple effects of these small interactions.
And that's what I want to do. Anticipate needs that's one thing I'm good at is anticipating other people's needs and making it come to life.
You are amazing. That I'm not bullshitting you. This is great. Okay. Last thing, like I said, because I didn't have a notebook until now. What is a question that you would like to leave the next guest? And by the way, the next guest is, and you know what? I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you who the next. Well, you should actually. I
think I know. It's
okay.
the cowboy.
Yes. See,
I saw your video. That was hilarious, by the way.
Thank you.
I love it. I love how the humor is built in. I didn't think about a question.
It's okay. Think about it right now. What would you like to ask the cowboy? Arizona's favorite black cowboy.
My husband's watching. Jeez. I would say what made him want to embody that cowboy that essence of a cowboy. Cause that's, you don't think of a black cowboy, you don't think about that. So I would want to know like, why?
Did you not bring me a pen?
Shit. I did have it.
Anticipate everything but a pen.
Moshe packed the bag.
All right. Well, hey, here's an opening for any other company to give me a pen.
I did have a pen too.
Oh my God. No, that's totally fine. Okay, so what was the question again? Because I was gonna write it down.
Oh, see, and where's your pen? Where's your pen at?
In my office. See, this is family yelling at each other. Productive chaos. So
non-productive.
You asked what made you want to embody being a cowboy, specifically a black cowboy in Gilbert, Arizona.
Yeah.
And on that note, guys, seriously, thank you so much for watching. I'm very grateful that I got to spend time with literal family and somebody who is doing good for the community.
Ditto. I was just gonna say, you just stole the words right out of my mouth. I appreciate the the exposure and seeing you. I was more excited just to see you.
I know.
And forget the podcast.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see you, and we finally made it happen. But no, I appreciate bringing me on and talking about this, and we got to see your mom and say hi to her live while we were making a video.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I am deeply grateful for just trying to grow and spread the word about Healing Buddy, and now my design business too, XQM Designs. But
what might happen is that, and here's the thing: we don't know what happens. Like, we don't know what the algorithm will pick up. And I'm not talking about just with this. I'm talking about in general, because what happens when this blows up, and then but also Healing Buddy. So I want you to. I don't want you to have an expectation. Okay.
I don't.
Good.
I don't have any expectations. that I don't though. It
good, because
you want to do. Who doesn't want to go viral, right? But realistically, I want to grow slowly. I want it to be more intimate. I want to be able to fix mistakes along the way, and
so smart.
Get that feedback back from people that are participants and going through it. And I think that's going to be just better, slow growth, slow, steady growth in all aspects, but specifically for Healing Buddy.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Joshua Coates, your overnight success story. This was the Baby J Show. Thank you guys. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.